When Corporal Brandon Pope comes on shift every day at the Clayton Police Department, he knows anything could happen.
You have no idea. There's no telling. There could be a day where you don't even hear the radio hardly, and there's no other days that you cannot even keep up with it.
Last Thursday, February 27th, was a day he'll likely never forget. The North Carolina native put his 15 years of law enforcement experience to the test when a man called police to report two people were struggling in a pond.
So when I get out of the car, where I parked my car, I could then see two women in the pond, and I could see their heads going up and down. They were neck deep water.
He quickly realized it was a woman and a young girl, eventually learning she was just 11 years old.
And as I'm wading out to them, the older woman says she's nonverbal autistic, and the look on her face said it all about the gravity of what she was dealing with.
Corporal Pope got out to the young girl as fast as he could.
We're in relatively deep water. There's the muddy bottom. I'm soaking wet, uniform soaking wet, she's soaking wet, I can't hardly hold on to her. So I get her back the best I could, and then I become kind of mired up in the mud and the murk.
He starts to realize he needs help. He asks the older woman who had made it out of the water to get to his radio and call for help, a call that shook Officer David Barbour.
When I hear this woman's voice on the radio and I know it's not his, and I hear the amplified tone in her voice, I know that in my mind, the first thing I thought is something happened to him and he needs us there immediately.
Officer Barbour rushed to the pond, jumped right in, and quickly helped both Corporal Pope and the young girl make it safely out of the water. Police eventually learned the young girl had waded out into the water while in crisis, and the woman looking after her had tried but couldn't save her on her own.
Had Corporal Pope not gotten there as fast as he did and taken the actions that he took, I think this could have had a very different ending, and had the person not called 911 to begin with, it could have had a very different ending.
Both officers hope that if you take anything away from this story, it's that it's always better to call 911 if something feels off, and that sometimes it takes the community coming together to keep everyone safe.
We can't always do it alone. We had a lot of resources that day, fire, EMS, other police officers, even the public came out and helped in their own way, and sometimes it takes that.
In Clayton, Sydney Schofield, ABC 11 Eyewitness News.